Unity of the Huachucas presents Reverend William Gill.
Oneness, when everybody wins.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, unity, oneness is not for Sunday morning anymore. Why do you come to church? Why are you here? That was an actual question.
Oh my God.
I don't do rhetorical questions.
Community fellowship.
Community fellowship. What else?
Alignment.
Alignment. You got one of your wheels a little off.
Just an uplift every week.
An uplift different week. Okay. What else?
Just want to get in tune with the source
Okay.
and be with everyone.
Anybody else? So my next question, and it's not a rhetorical question, when you're done here and you go home, do you continue what you came here to do?
Yes.
Attempt.
Huh?
Attempt.
Attempt. Okay, there's the first honest one. Attempt. And in your daily life, when you go through the daily life, do you continue with this oneness and unity that we feel here? Try. And the spiritual principles that we learn here, teach here, learn here, are they your daily bread? Are they your modus operandi? Are they the way you do life?
They are for me.
Huh?
They are for me.
Good.
I start my day out. I have a certain process that I do every morning.
Great. And I don't mean to sound judgmental. I'm just asking the question, do we live our lives by the principles we practice while we're here?
I do.
Because I don't know about you, but when I look around, I see a lot of conflict in the world. And while I believe you that you practice beyond here, what we do here, I'm just wondering, why is there so much conflict in the world? Why is there no oneness and unity, which is what we say we like? So that might be a rhetorical question, but something to ponder. Why is there so much conflict in the world? Why do we have family members against family members? Why do we have Christians against Christians? Why do we have Americans against Americans? Why do we have world citizens against world citizens? That might be a question to ponder. And while the answer might not be easy or readily easy, I wonder if we're going the wrong way about getting what we want. Because conflict is nothing more than people trying to get what they want and going the wrong way about it. And I'm wondering if in getting what we want, are we using the principles that we learn here? And I wonder if there is more work for us to do to get what we want in a better way. There's somewhat of a cliche word statement, actually, that says, be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. And I don't think it works to pray about peace when we are not creating peace. It's just a waste of time. And I think it's the wrong thing to pray about peace in the world when I don't have peace at home.
Amen.
Or within myself. Many of you went like this, yes. So I promise there's zero politics in my talk, but I'm going to say, don't worry about who you vote for. Don't worry about who's running the show. Worry about yourself. Because I honestly believe that your universe begins inside of you. And even though it might seem backwards or impossible, I honestly believe, but I'm going to go with what I believe, that when I clean house inside of myself, everything else around me begins to clean house. So what do we have to do things a better way? And I'm going to look at something called levels of consciousness. You cannot solve a problem with the level of consciousness that created the problem. It's not going to work. So in wanting to see that peace in the world, I believe that I have to rise in consciousness. Because while I am in that lower consciousness, it's not going to happen. I can't. I don't have the tools. I don't have the ways to bring about that peace that I want in my life while I operate with the same rules and the same procedures that created the problem in the first place. There's a good book, a little bit of a thick rating, but there's a good book titled Power versus Force, written by Dr. David Hawkins. And in there he talks about levels of consciousness, and he assigns attributes to levels of consciousness. Key attributes of the very lowest levels of consciousness are pride, anger, fear, and desire. And he, in a lot more words than I am doing now, because I don't have a book, I have 20 minutes. 11 minutes.
You took the clock down. So
I noticed
you
that.
all the time you want.
I noticed you took my clock out. So I'm going to look at my watch, and I'm going to email Tanya to whack you in the head. Oh, she liked that. I'm going to get good food tonight. What was I? Levels of consciousness. Fear, anger, pride, desire are markers of the lowest levels of consciousness. And to rise in consciousness and to see the peace that you want to see, you have to ascend beyond the level of consciousness that is characterized by behaviors such as pride, fear, anger, desire, and a few others. So to be part of the solution, not to be part of the problem, I need to rise in consciousness first. I, not the president or the governor or your spouse, which in my house is the president and the governor. And the cabinet. One representative.
Yeah.
But don't worry about them, worry about you. And I think that as you rise in consciousness, that work will permeate everywhere else in your life. So let me get a little churchy on you, because I'm sure some are going like, is he going to talk about God or something? Well, it's 11:11. It's an inside thing, which I get to do because I'm up here. God, we say, we sing it, we write it, God is peace. God is love. How is your relationship with your God? How's that going? How is your relationship with your God? And while you're in the thick of trouble, are you focusing on the trouble or are you focusing on your relationship with your God? And what human tools are available to you to strengthen your relationship with your God? Let me say that an easier way. What can you do so that your relationship with your God is a strong one? So that you know your God well and your God knows you well. And that's the footstep to a higher consciousness. I'm a student of music, and I look for ways to be better at studying music, like I look for ways to be better at my relationship with God. And there's a great book titled Effortless Mastery by Kenny Werner. And basically, it's an amazing book. It talks about spiritual principles in playing a musical instrument. He actually has meditations to do to become a better musician, which I think is wild. But the title of the book is the thesis of the book, which is there will come a point where you get so good that you are good without trying to be good. It's called Effortless Mastery. And although I've only had a fine little taste of it, because I don't consider myself a great musician in any way, I've had it lately a couple instances where the instrument plays itself. And I honestly believe Spirit is playing music through me. Can you let Spirit speak through you? Can you let Spirit be the one that moves your mouth and your fingers and your feet? Can you let Spirit be the one that drives your behavior? And can you become an effortless master at spirituality? Because I believe, and I have to look at my watch because it's 2:52. I honestly believe that as you become an effortless master of spirituality, there will be peace in your life. And that seems like a long shot, a long stretch. There's a lot of really nasty stuff going on in the world. But can you imagine? Next time you go home and you want to pray, do a meditation. Imagine that everybody walking this earth is in touch with Spirit. Do an imagination meditation where you close your eyes and you imagine something and you feel it and you believe it. Imagine that everyone, no exceptions, walking this earth has a great relationship with your God. And everyone walking this earth is an effortless master at spirituality. Will we see peace in the world then? And will we see peace until that happens? So oneness is not just something that we need to do on Sunday mornings. Oneness is something that we need to do every day of our lives. And you cannot feel oneness when there is conflict within you. Because when there is conflict within you, you will be doing the wrong thing to get what you want. And to heal all of that, we need to do our work of rising in consciousness. And it is work, not as in difficult or tiring, but as in challenging, as in something you have to apply yourself to. Great musicians are not great musicians because they picked up a bass and they went on it. Took a lot of work to get there. I know that now. I used to think, I'm not going to pay $100 for a guy go like this. But now I know what that guy had to do to get there. Likewise, in spirituality, you have a lot of things to do to get there and become a master of spirituality. And are you willing to do that work, not as a way to punch your ticket to get into heaven? Are you willing to do that work to create heaven on earth? And without each one of you, not just a few of you, without each one of you doing so, there will not be peace on earth. It's just not going to happen. So, by no means is my life 100% peaceful. No, I'm married, so. By no standards is my life 100% peaceful, but when I feel the pain of the lack of peace, I remember where to look. And it's not outside of me. It is inside of me. And when there isn't peace in my life, I remember that when I leave the house like a private maniac, there's not going to be any more peace on the street or at work. And that whole peace train, great song, that whole peace train happens in the beginning of my day, and it happens with me. And that peace train can only happen through my work, my determination to become a better spiritual being on this earth. To me, and your mileage may vary, to me that is what being a Christian is. To be and to do as Jesus did. To be like him, not so much to adore him, which is fine, but to be like him. By the way, that's why he had a hard time, because he was professing a message that people did not want to hear. And it's easier to get rid of the messenger than to examine the message. So that might happen to you when you start getting really happy. People are going to notice and they might want to get rid of you. Whatever that means in the context of your life. But then you have to decide, do I want to go with peace or do I want to keep everybody happy? I'm going to give you a little spiritual homework. And my homework is based on the first verse of Psalm 43:3. It says, "Send forth your light and your truth." And I'm charging you today to send forth your light and your truth. And I'm helping you today by telling you that you will only be able to do that when you start cleaning house inside of yourself. Otherwise, it ain't going to work. And not to step on another cliche, but the peace that you want to see in the world begins with you. And when I got, how many are here? 15. I got about 25 more billion to go. But when I can get everybody to work on themselves and be at peace, you wouldn't want to go to war. You'll be able to get what you want in a way that is healthy and everybody wins. The best solution to a problem is when everybody wins. So, Psalm 43:3, send forth your peace, send forth your light and your truth. And to do that, clean up house within yourself. And I believe that when you do that, the oneness that you feel the hour that we're here will be the oneness that you will feel every hour of your life. And you'll be so happy and so healthy that even you will be surprised. I bless you.